The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com.
We were on the break!
With Ambar Garcia, Bryan Broaddus, Voch Lombardi, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Thursday, October 16th, 2025, season 21, episode number 59. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break Live from SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. We're presented by LG. LG is the world's #1 OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. See why at LG.com/OLED Evo. All right, let's go. Cowboys versus Commanders. Yesterday, we focused on the Commanders offense versus the Cowboys defense. Today, we're going to flip that. We're going to talk Cowboys offense versus Commanders defense. Before we get there, though, let's talk injuries. Injury report looks very, very promising relative to what it's been over the last several weeks. Here's some of the guys, some of the notable names that were limited in practice yesterday. They had nobody that was completely out of practice.
Sir?
What is going on?
What is you doing?
I'm adjusting my chair. I'm trying to see what he's looking at me for.
I thought you needed a pin.
Oh, no. I got my Crown Global Media.
I got you.
pen.
Got you.
Yeah, I got my.
All right.
Hey,
No,
man.
I thought you were looking for.
I got my Dallas Cowboys. My Lenovo Lombardi pen.
I got you.
Damn. I ain't doing it on purpose, Dallas.
Hey, man, we just all
Brian
over
asked me.
right now.
I thought you needed a pin. I was going to go to my scouting bag and get you one.
I got a
Go
pen.
ahead,
right.
Derek. Sorry about that.
All right, let's talk about
My right brother's pen.
let's talk about injuries. This list, check this out. Tyler Booker, ankle, limited. See, that's that. Marshawn Nealon, ankle,
Derek's gonna
limited.
keep it.
CeeDee
Get
Lamb,
louder.
ankle, limited. Jonathan Mingo, knee, limited.
I got answers for you.
Jack Sanborn, concussion, limited. Kevontae Turpin, foot. Donovan Wilson, elbow and knee. Kalen Carson, knee. All of them limited except for Kalen Carson. He was a full participant yesterday in practice. Brian, what do we know about these injuries?
Yeah, everybody that is on that list that's practicing is eligible to play this week. That's what I've been doing. So, yeah. That's,
Eligible as in
Eligible.
they're going to make those two guys. They're bringing those guys up?
yeah, there's some talk. Yeah, they're going to have to do some roster gymnastics, of course. But everybody that practice is in line to potentially play this weekend.
Wow.
That's what I've been told. So
That is huge.
So yeah, that's a really good thing. It's such an important football game, and then to maybe halfway through this thing, I know we're getting close to the halfway point, but getting guys back, and then for some really every game from now on is super important, just in the way the division is rolling. And I saw a deal the other day where the teams with the toughest remaining schedules. Mm-hmm. Here we are. Dallas is in there. The Giants is in there. You feel everybody's in there, and it's all the Eastern Division. So nobody has any real advantage, I think, over the other because they all have got difficult schedules. You just got to be ready to navigate these games. But from what I've been told, everybody that has practiced yesterday and will practice today is in line to play this weekend after they do the roster gymnastics.
All right. Let me ask you this. There are a few questions I have on that. One, let's start with the wide receivers. So let's assume for a second CeeDee and Kevontae Turpin are back this week.
Yeah.
Let's also assume that the Cowboys decide they want to bring Mingo up, which we have heard. I thought they were going to kind of hold him there. But last week I heard Stephen Jones on 105.3 The Fan saying he's in line as somebody they're thinking they want to get up to the active roster. That being said, what happens at wide receiver?
Brian, please, you have a take on this.
Yeah, I do. I think they're going to play. I think they're going to dress them all. I think there's a possibility right now that they're going to dress all these wide receivers.
That'd be 6.
Yeah, and maybe have to go light at another position, and just. But I mentioned the word roster gymnastics. It's something that. But right now, the thought is that they're going to dress these guys and then see how it all works. But but there very well could be, depending on what's the situation with Tolbert or what you want to do with Flanoy and stuff like that, or maybe there's another position that they say, listen, we're gonna get into a game where they play 11 personnel. We're gonna need corners. Maybe we cannot dress this guy. There's all kinds of things that they can try and do. But from the initial thought of what I've heard is that they're going to try and dress all 6 of these guys.
Brian, if you had to guess 1 to 10, scale of 1 to 10, what's their urgency with Mingo? Because if Mingo is going to be active, I'd assume that they want to use him.
Right.
Lamb is back. I know they want to get him back going
Right.
again. GP's having some fantastic days. You don't want to slow him down. Flo is kind of emerging, but he may be the younger dude in that kind of situation. Brian, like from a scale of 1 to 10, like how bad you think that they want to get Mingo out there?
I would say they're probably about a 6 or 7 on that right now.
So how do you navigate that first 4 guys out there?
Yeah, then that's where, to me, that's where the switch could be with Flanoy. I mean, it actually could be with Tolbert if you look at that. Do you want to put a bigger body in position if they want to try and run the football? This week we're going to talk about how teams have had success running the ball off the edge. Running the ball off the edge kind of incorporates your pullers, your pinners, and then your wide receivers as well. And so do you want to put a bigger body potentially in place for, say, a Tolbert? That's to me, that's where the switch outs are going to come. It's going to be, how's the rotation of Tolbert, Flanoy, and then also with Mingo. I think that Turpin's in a whole different category.
Sure.
I think those 3 guys that I mentioned are kind of in that, okay, we got this idea, we're going to go with this guy. We got this idea, we're going to go with this guy. I think you're going to see a rotation of those 3 and see how long that can go. And then maybe in 2 weeks, it'll take care of itself. Maybe somebody say, okay, we can't afford to do this anymore. We have to just go with this guy, and then that makes somebody sit. But right now, I think they want to take advantage of that, and I think the 3 guys will be rotating amongst themselves.
Please.
Go ahead.
Just watching the film, it's interesting what Tolbert's roles kind of turned into.
Yeah.
He's turned into, lack of better words, like the new Noah Brown guy, like the dirty work guy. He does a bunch of the cracks and blocks and things like that. And he's clearing out for some of these other guys. That's 2 weeks in a row where he's gotten just one target. Flo will get his 9 one week and then 6 another week. But it seems like Tolbert's kind of stayed like where he was. So I imagine if they're not going to move him down and he's going to be active, I think he's going to be doing some of those same kinds of things.
Yep. Let's talk about the offensive line. If right now what we're hearing is Cooper Beebe is not yet ready to come back. He's still working through his injury. Tyler Booker is looking like it's positive that he could come back. Which do you think of those 2 players the Cowboys have missed most on the offensive line?
Beebe and Booker?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I mean, you can look either way and kind of go, how does your combo work? So if you're looking at Bass and how Hoffman operate, man, if you got Booker and he's in there strong as hell, then that helps Hoffman, But if BB's in there, he helps Big Tyler also. But then on the other side, he'll help TJ. I would assume Hoffman would be the right guard at that point. But I think they all kind of one big symbiotic unit of missing each other. You would love to have them all in there kind of moving guys around. But if you had to, what you missed the most, I would say Booker. Hoffman's done a pretty good job of being a backup center for you. You're not losing any of the calls, any of the mental stuff going on in there. And, like I always say on this show, it's better for your center to be that guy because he gets help from both guys. I would say Booker the most, and especially this week now because, you got Deron Payne walking in the house. And we're going to talk more about it later, but some teams kind of ran away from Payne and Kinlaw on the inside. I think when you have Booker in there now, you can use it as an advantage for you.
Yeah, with Booker, it's one of those things that he's a very strong guy.
He's strong as hell.
And surprisingly strong for a first year because typically it takes you like a second year for you to get to that NFL strength. And he's got it right off the bat. So that's one of the things that I think the more he's in there, the better he's going to continue to get. I mean, obviously, that's what essentially happens with everybody. But with him, I've been so impressed in general. Obviously, you got your hiccups. That's normal when you talk about a rookie. But he has just a different type of power that I don't want to take away from him continuing to build on that along with the instinct that goes with it. So I think power-wise, that's something that is a key point for me when it comes to him.
Amber, I don't know why the chat says bad things about you. I don't know why they hate on you in the comments so much. That's a phenomenal point.
Let me open this crap up.
That's a phenomenal.
'Cause I have not
Amber,
been
you
paying
don't
attention.
understand. No, you don't understand.
Let me
Amber.
see what the
Amber,
heck.
Amber, you don't understand. That's a because as a rookie, he has year 2 size and power, so they don't put kid
Which
gloves
is
on him.
unusual.
They don't put the kid gloves. Even when Big Tyler was a rookie, he wasn't as big as what Big Tyler is now. Booker does have that year 2 size and year 2 strength on. So what you're saying is in year 3 or 4, Booker will be like next year for us. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just gonna build on that. That's a fantastic point, Amber. People in here hating on you. But that's a
Let
good
me
point.
see, because I like to shut them up.
Because Deron Payne whoop folk, you know, and you're definitely gonna need Booker to be in there and do his thing this week.
Not so fast, my friends.
Sorry.
Not so fast. Your center you need to have
So that's real.
BB back.
That's
You really, really do. There's some things you struggled with in that game last week. You struggled with some block backs. You struggled with some reach blocks.
Penetration.
You struggled with penetration, second levels. I think Bass has been playing very well. I think last week wasn't one of their better games offensively, offensive line wise. But if you had to say which of the two I think have played better on tape for me, it's been Bass. But they sure could use that. They sure could use that ability to be able to the combination Bass and BB, that power right there. They could use it with Smith and BB right there. That second level blocks with I mentioned the block backs. They had an opportunity, and Voch broke it down for you on our channel where they missed the block back, and what happened? You had the guy that came from the backside and made a tackle for loss or negative play. They missed that ability. Hoffman struggles with that. There's things Hoffman is, we like to say in scouting, plays really well in a phone booth. Very confined, limited area. Very good at doing that. The more you extend him, the harder it is for him to block. And I think BB is the total opposite of that. So to me, I'm going to say you need to get your center back.
All right, I got another topic for you guys before we get to our break with regards to injuries. I want to hypothesize on something. I have not watched it enough on film to have an opinion on it, but I know you guys have watched the film, so I want to see what your thoughts are. There have been 2 games this season where this defense has been really bad against the run defensively. Yeah. That was the Jets and the Panthers. Ironically, both those games, there was one player that was missing. A player that we've talked about on this show, like not in the most glowing way, Jack Sanborn. Is there any chance that maybe what we're seeing from the run defense in the 2 games where they were at their worst were a result of the fact that in the Jets game, he got hurt with the concussion, so missed some of that game. And then in this last game against the Panthers, did not play at all.
Even when Sean Lee was an old man and wasn't moving all that well, he'll still call things out around him. I think that's probably what you're missing the most. And if you got like multiple dudes like that on your team, like the more you have, the better you are. I'm not saying nothing about this group of players on defense in particular, but it seems like Sanborn's like mainly the guy that'll do most of the calling out. Some of the other guys that could do some calling out, they're on the sideline right now. But if they're all relying on Sanborn and in the middle of a game, he's just out. And then the very next week, we're maybe putting even more jobs and responsibility on somebody else, I could see why that could be a problem. Overshawn's another guy that can call things out, but he hurt and he ain't playing. I think Sanborn coming back would be huge for the overall product of the defense. He's still going to be a tick late, but at least he's going to be going in the right direction. So I'm curious to see what the DC does about this. I'm sure that Sanborn and Murray are going to be the first guys out there. But when the rotation happens, I wonder who's going to come off the field at that point.
That was nice. You didn't give me a definitive. Do you think that the problems on the run defense are a result of him not being out there?
I think there's a whole bunch of problems on the run defense. I think, guys getting moved around. Kenny Clark had a terrible game last week. Sam Williams got cracked to the opposite C gap. Like, plenty bad things happen. But I do think that if Sanborn was there to kind of talk about what's happening, I think guys will see it maybe a tick.
You would think they would have been better with him out there.
A smidge better.
I got you. Okay.
Amongst other issues.
Enough to make a difference? I don't think so. I think you ultimately would have gotten the same type of result there regardless. But yeah, of course, having him there based on the experience, it helps communication-wise. But at the same time, honestly, I really do believe it would not have mattered that much.
I'm going to ask you this question, Voch.
Yes, sir.
Where did the Jets run the ball on you?
They ran it everywhere, but they
Where mainly did they run it though? If you had to go back and think about where they ran the ball, and then I'm going to ask you the same question: where did Carolina run the ball?
Brees kind of bounced on you a little bit.
Yeah, well, I thought to me a little bit more of an inside path.
Yeah.
I thought the Carolina was a little bit more inside path.
Rico ran at you.
We're about to talk about a team
we
did yesterday that will bounce the ball.
Yeah.
They like to pull, they like to pin, all those things we talk about. When you look at Krosky Merritt, it's outside game, it's to the edge. They don't run a lot of the stuff inside. The two games you mentioned, Derek, were inside running teams. Where Jack Sanborn gets exposed is a team that runs the ball on the outside because he gets caught in trash and he's at times not quick enough to get to the outside.
But would he have helped on the inside run game those teams because they run inside?
He helps against a team that plays a very vanilla running game.
Because they'd have ran right into him. They'd have ran right at him.
There you go.
Yeah.
But a team like the Commanders, if you're thinking, Jack Sanborn could be the difference. The problems when teams have run the ball on the edge, we've seen Jack Sanborn be a step late. We've seen him be a step slow. And
has there been another team that they've played that has that style that runs to the outside more that the Cowboys have played this season?
I think to me, and I'm trying to remember about what the Packers were trying to do. The Packers, I think, were a little bit more to the outside, and then you had some problems. The Giants are a run at you team, and we saw that. I mean, it was a crazy game, but we started to see what Cam Scatterbo could be a little bit. And I think the next time you play Cam Scatterbo, he is the guy that you're going to have to deal with, and that's kind of a little bit of a straight ahead game. But I to Ambar's point, he makes a difference in straight ahead games against teams that kind of attack on the perimeter a little more. That's where I think he becomes a little bit of a liability for you.
Yeah. Got it. All right, we're going to take our first break. We will come back. We'll dive into this Washington defense versus the Dallas offense. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Back to the break.
Choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo. Check out the best TV in the game at LG.com.
Welcome back. Second segment of the break, live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. The segment's brought to you by Blockchain.com. Let's go inside ops. Cowboys versus Commanders. Let's talk about the defense. How would you characterize their defensive scheme? What do they try to do, and how effective are they at doing it?
Joe Witt and Dan doing that same stuff they were doing over here.
All right.
Yeah,
Same stuff. They run some man. They run a whole bunch of nickel. Sometimes they'll bring out the little nickel corners like 5'8" San Still, and they'll put out a big nickel out there, and then late downs they'll run some dime.
Yep, I think you got them right, man. You're going to see a team that's going to play a lot of man coverage, and what they're really what they're interested in is they don't have they get pressure with 4. You know, that's kind of a Dan Quinn staple but he will occasionally bring pressure. We talk about the unblocked rushers that they have. They'll create those situations where all of a sudden they have what we call a free runner. And Dak has been outstanding against the free runner this year. 10 of 16, I looked up against that, over 100 yards. That's successful, I would say, against that. So yeah, you're going to get a ton of man coverage. You're going to get a lot of. They play more nickel. I think only the Seahawks play more nickel coverage than they do. And then, like Voch mentioned, which very astutely he did, you're going to get some dime stuff. And then dime is that's the 6 defensive backs out there. So if that's the case, then that's probably how they're going to play against Jake Ferguson. They'll probably treat Jake Ferguson like he is a wide receiver with their dime personnel, but not a lot of blitzing. Now, the problems that they've had, the biggest problem that they've had is they're one of the teams in the league. We mentioned outside runs. They have struggled. Teams have averaged about 4.8 yards a carry, and you could see it. You can watch the games. You'll go back. You can watch the Chargers game. You could see this last Bears game, Atlanta teams, Green Bay teams have had success running the ball off the edge against this football team. So. With all that being said, Dallas, get your pin and pull game going again. Get your outside game going. I thought against Carolina last week, it's just the penetrators. It could be a problem again this week with the inside guys, with Kinlaw and Payne. Those guys are especially Payne, very physical player inside right there. And then Frankie Louvu at linebacker, kind of a sideline to sideline guy. But here's another thing you need to know about the Washington Commanders. They miss a ton of tackles. This is very, very unlike a Dan Quinn defense that it misses tackles, but they're one of the tops in the league when it comes to that. So, Dallas, the run after catch, the way that Williams is able to break tackles as a running back could be all very positive things. This could be a game, as I start to talk about outside runs, could this be a game that they get blue going in? Maybe not so much the inside stuff hasn't been successful. I don't think they've given him enough chances. But maybe they can get the ball to him on the edge, some tosses, some cracks, things like that, and let him try and expose, this Commanders defense, make them have to make some plays at the second level, make them have to make some sure tackles. They've proven so far that's been a problem for them.
Yeah, you mentioned it. I literally just wrote that down. Is this the week that blue gets going?
Yeah.
But let's talk about that defensive front. You said they're able to get pressure with 4.
Yeah.
Walk me through the guys that are up front for them and how you think they match up against the offensive linemen for the Cowboys, particularly in the pass game.
So, Cowboy legend Dorrance Armstrong's been tearing it up over there. 5 sacks, a whole bunch of pressures, run game stuff, but he got a hamstring going on. So we don't know what that's going to look like.
Did not practice yesterday, right?
Did not. We don't know if it's mild or like a real hamstring, but it's just a DNP hamstring. It's so strange to say that if Dorrance ain't playing, that's massive for you. But Dorrance is the guy that get most of them. Yeah. Von Miller is a 40-year-old version of himself. He like, what, 38, 39, whatever.
But it's still Von Miller, right?
He's found a little bit of the fountain of youth, but yeah, you're right.
Because if you use him in specific,
Texas A&M Von Miller will be terrifying. I think this is a Von Miller.
Yeah,
right.
How old is he now?
Von Miller might be 39, 40. He's a little different. Yeah. But he's going to be mostly lined up against Terrence. So that's where the matchup comes from. And Von nowadays is going to rush more with power, technique, long arm, and stuff like that. He's gotten how old?
36.
It feel like more than that.
That's not that old.
But yeah, to Derek, but in football years, y'all the same age. You know what I mean? But yeah, Von is the guy. And like early in the season, Payne was a guy that got like a sack and a half or whatever. But I would say the Cowboys have an advantage on the inside out there. This is a matchup I would say favors your Cowboy tackles in that way. This isn't the Thibodeau Brian Burns group. Even if Dorrance plays, I feel decent about that matchup. Dorrance is their most productive guy, but he ain't like a T.J. Watt that this Myles Garrett type character that you would have to worry about. I think him and old man Von Miller, Drake, not London, but other Drake Jackson. Drake Jackson was another pass rusher for him, backup guy that comes out there. He'll kind of go out there, but he's not going to terrify you much. They really get busy in the middle with Kinlaw and Payne, but that's where the Cowboys are powerful. So in terms of pass rush, the Washington Football Wizards have gotten pressure all year.
Right.
They get pressure and they whoop ass there, but I think the Cowboys have an advantage.
Yeah, that's you mentioned. I like to say it's really going to come down to Armstrong, and then if the extra rusher, that's when you get the Frankie Louvu.
Louvu's dangerous.
Yeah, Louvu is dangerous because what happens is he'll match up against backs, and he is. If you try and block him, we'll see with the Cowboys and how they navigate that. Williams is a really good blitz pickup guy, and so that hopefully that'll be a wash as they bring. But they're going to try. Like I said, what you have to really, really worry about with the Commanders, I think, and you could see it, is when they get you in a situation where they feel like that they want to bring pressure, everybody's standing up. They've got guys. It's very, very reminiscent. We've seen this before with Dan Quinn. We've seen Dan Quinn put 4 edges on the field and rush, and that's really what he tries to do, with his defense. And then you have to be ready for an occasional slot blitz. You have to be ready for a safety blitz. You have to be ready for Frankie Louvu. He's like an all over the field guy. He wears number 4. He's not hard to find. He's generally where the ball is. But yeah, it's just navigating. Can you take care of Armstrong? And what about this defense though? And you mentioned Derek. It's interesting because they play left and right corners. They don't move. So you get Trey Amos on one side of the field on that left side, and then you get Marshawn Lattimore on the other side, and they don't move. They stay right there. Now here's where we can maybe have some tendency breakers. We're halfway through the season or getting near halfway through the season. Are there things that they're going to do? Like we talked about the jumbo personnel. They've been run heavy out of that. Are they going to throw out of jumbo personnel? Are you going to get something with left and right corners that are they going to try and move and travel and all that, just to kind of throw your tendencies off? Because if you want to, you could scheme it. I would absolutely scheme the nickel, Silverstrand, and I would scheme the other side too. I would scheme away from Amos is what I would do right there. Those are the 2 guys that I would kind of look at in the secondary if, in fact, you get things blocked up front.
So now speaking about the passing game, we've talked about the fact they'll go to nickel, they'll go to dime. Where are the weak links? Obviously, if they're playing man coverage, I feel good about CD and Pickens if you're going to man up on either one of those guys. Yeah. But that being said, who are the players in the secondary that you should be looking at as targets to say wherever they line up, that's where you should be looking?
Amos is their, I would say, better corner.
Yes.
I don't think he's a guy that you should just be like avoiding. And if they're going to line up in a whole bunch of man, I mean, look, you have CeeDee Lamb at the end of the day. There's no need to fear him. I remember in college, Bryan, just sometimes we just go back and forth about these rookies sometimes. Amos was a guy that, he was more of a boundary type guy.
Right.
Kind of longer, didn't really turn all that much, but he played the inside routes really well.
Right.
So if it's me, Bryan, I'm taking somebody that runs pretty decently, and I'm going to try to zigzag a little bit with him, make him turn, make him, work his hips a little bit and deal with that. But not to even get cute about this. Marshawn Lattimore, teams go find him.
They do.
Deep. They go
do.
find him, and they try him, and he's not as fast as he once was, and they go get him. Sanders still, it looked like he don't run all that good neither, but I'm going to let him slide. But he's like 5'8" in Michigan, a little bitty. But he's feisty, he tackles and all that. He's very, tough and all this kind of stuff. But you got CeeDee Lamb coming back, and if they're not going to travel, Bryan, if they're just going to keep everything the way it is right now, I wouldn't move CeeDee Lamb out of the slot. I would let Sanders still, 5'8", Sanders still chase CeeDee Lamb around all day.
I agree.
And if y'all going to leave...
Because CeeDee can move, and he's a bigger body.
And he's a bigger body.
You have a hard time with that bigger
Are you
body.
expecting City to play the whole game?
I asked Bryan about this, and Bryan has much.
I think they go. I think he's going to go. CeeDee Lamb has played with a busted shoulder and stuff like that. Yeah. If he's out there, I think Coach was very accurate yesterday when he said, he goes, "What are you looking for? If he's breathing,
right. Put him out there."
I think CeeDee is going to, but coming out of the slot, that's now you have another slot player back with Turpin. also being back. I think that really helps there too. And if I could say something about Turpin real quick, I know it might not help you in the punt game, but this is going to sound really terrible. But if teams are scoring on you like they are, the kickoff, him getting field position on kickoff returns, it might not help you in the punt game. You can't get anybody to punt right now. But if it turns into where can Dallas win the hidden yards in this game? Can they win? And he turned the game on its head last year, if you remember, in Washington.
Play of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's that guy. So now that you have your guy back that can maybe bring that ball back to midfield, now you're putting Dallas in short field positions and stuff. And this offense, if they're going to have to score every drive, whether it's touchdowns or field goals, having him bring that ball back, I think, is going to be key for you.
All right, we're going to take our final break. When we come back, the question I have for these guys is, if fully healthy, can this offense and special teams be close enough to perfect to get this team to the playoffs? We'll talk about that when we come back. This is DallasCowboys.com radio.
That sucks.
I'm home. Hey, Mom. Before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Back to the break.
Cowboys fans, don't miss the ultimate game day experience at AT&T Stadium on October 19th versus Washington. Join us for Cowboys Carne Asada presented by Ford, featuring a pregame performance by the legendary Mariachi Vargas de Tecalitlán and a postgame concert with Los Huracanes del Norte at Miller Lite House. Game ticket required for entry. Get yours at SeatGeek.com.
Welcome back.
I learned about Spanish. People that speak Spanish don't want you to speak Spanish with them long words like.
Where'd you find this lie?
Then they read it all fast to you. When
but
Ambar
in short,
speaking English,
real quick.
When Ambar speaking English, she go, "Hey guys, this is Ambar Garcia." When she speaks fast, they don't want you to understand what
Is it fast? Or it just sound fast to you because you don't know what they're saying?
I'm listening slow.
There you go.
I'm
just
listening
asking.
slow.
Yeah.
It is faster though.
Is
it is faster and more wordy. It's just it takes a lot more words to say something.
That's their swag. I know what I'm talking about, man.
But real quick, in short, but what I just read, that just means there's gonna be a pregame party at the stadium.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys go to the Miller Lite House, and then there's a postgame party also with a concert. They're gonna have food trucks out there. Huh?
Are they barbecuing? Carne asada?
I know they're gonna have food trucks. I don't know what all they're
No,
gonna.
the band is called Carne Asada.
Oh, damn.
So this is a
Not the band,
pregame party?
the event.
I thought the band, there was a band called.
You don't speak Spanish. Voch speaks. Just listen to me, man. Because carne asada means barbecue, and it means
it's
meat.
a kind of
So it's
steak,
going to be a
right?
festival.
Carne
I'm out
asada
there
means-
broadcasting.
Is it steak or is it?
It's both.
Wait, what is it?
Carne
Is it-
asada is a cookout, right? Like a barbecue.
It's both.
It's both.
So
So the cookout, carne
Yeah.
asada is what
Yeah.
people call it. A
So when I
cookout,
heard that,
but
I
also
thought-
skirt steak.
what? Oh, it's skirt steak.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I heard that, I thought, oh, they barbecuing there, or like they barbecuing outside or something.
They're gonna have food trucks, and
I like
it's
barbecue.
a party. But the
I got
band
this
is
there.
not called carne asada.
I thought it was the band.
There are
It's a hell of
two
a name for
different-
one, though.
Yeah,
The
it
name
would
of the
be. Like,
band
that'd be a
is-
great name for a
Yeah,
band,
the
right?
name of the band is that long word she said. I don't know what it is.
Mariachi Vargas that like.
That's the damn
you
band.
see it?
I will tell you this: the mariachi band that they've had the last couple games,
Good.
Yeah.
That's the mariachi.
they're good.
Could I ask a
They're
real quick
good.
question about the
They can
mariachi
sing.
band?
They can sing.
Do you tip the mariachi band after they play in the restaurant? That's the question I've always wanted.
Oh, when they come up to your table
yeah,
and start
do you
singing.
tip it? Is it possible?
A rich man like you, I would say yes. Bro.
You're pressured.
I'm always
to.
confused.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
always
not trying to,
Look,
but
they
you're
finish.
pressured.
They finish
to.
singing and then they just kind of stand.
They
and
walk
wait.
with a
I'm
No, they stand there and wait like.
the guy
We enjoyed this, huh?
the guy with the
That's
real
all right.
big guitar is always kind of looking at me like, "Where's some cash?"
Yeah.
You know.
Pull it out.
It's proper, right? Proper to
I would
tip
say
the
it's
mariachi
probably the
band?
right thing to
assume,
do. I would say.
just
Even
as
if they
any
sing
other-
"Happy Birthday," they
I would
sing
say
"Happy
that's the
Birthday."
right thing to do.
Okay.
Brian. Yeah, just take out a little bit of cash.
I'm sorry, mariachi band
just-
folks.
and just
I'll
drop it
tip
over
you
there.
next time.
I think
At least-
that's probably.
Also, by the way, in case you guys forget, AT&T, they connect everything.
There you go.
They connect everything.
All right, we're into our final segment of the break. And here's the big question I have for you guys. We've talked about the fact that I think coming off this last game, I heard it quite a bit. You know, this offense is going to have to be perfect in order to win some of these games. My thought is, with the guys they have coming back, if they can keep this team healthy, what you have on offense and the explosiveness of your special teams and your ability for your kicker to make 100-yard field goals, is this team possible? If they're healthy, is it possible that those two units can be as close to perfect as necessary in order to make this team a real viable contender?
No. Even if you score more points, that just means that they gonna score more points. The other team gonna score more points. You got to get stops. I would actually prefer if we go into a game and the Cowboys score less because the defense has played so good that we can just kind of chill and run the ball at the end of the game. I would love for that to be the case. I don't want this thing to be a shootout possession. The Cowboys are the number one offense in the league. Point differential is -6. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. So all the games you've won and lost are within like 3 points of each other. It's ridiculous. So I would much rather my defense play a little better. But me and Bryan talked about this. I think you're going to have to start going for them 4th and 5s, them 4th and 3s. I don't think you can just punt there and make your defense go back out there because the Cowboys just aren't good there.
Yeah, I think it's all about the flow of the game. And I think that, to me, if you look at Brian Schottenheimer, at least through the first part of the season, he's been very conservative with those calls. We've seen Mike McCarthy in the past kind of be a little bit more willing. I think that now it's about knowing how the condition of your team is. If you get into one of these games and, Dallas, Commanders score, you score, Commanders score, and it goes back and forth that way. And it's like, it looks like that if you punt, you're going to probably lose this game. Yeah. I think that that's where Brian Schottenheimer needs to channel his inner Dan Campbell and be that way. But if you get into where all of a sudden, hey, that like last year they played this quarterback pretty well, all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's a 3 and out. Oh, they got him off the field. Oh, he made a mistake. Oh, this, that, and the other. Then maybe you don't have to go for it as much. But, man, that puts so much pressure on your quarterback and your offense to have to do that, and your play caller. But the coach feels that. He feels that as the head coach and play caller, he's going to know now that, like, man, they are making me have to work today. And you know what I'm going to do? I might have to steal another possession here. I might have to keep going. I can't afford to kick a field goal at this point, and I think we'd all be okay with that. I do. I feel like afterwards, and Voch got on me a little bit for saying this, if you stand at the podium and say, well, hey, why'd you go for it there? And I'm like, well, did you see my defense out there today? You can't say that, but, you're like, hey, maybe you talk about the other team. Maybe you say, well, we didn't have an answer for Krosky Merritt today. We didn't have an answer for Terry McLaurin. We had to do something different. And I think the fan base would understand that with the current state of your defense.
Yeah, I completely agree with you guys, especially in the fourth quarter. I'm not punting anymore. I'm taking the risk. And compared to other years, I actually feel like you do have the players that you can potentially still convert, like actually take the risk and it be successful. So I'm with you guys on that. But to answer your question, Derek, nah. Yes, it's great to have those, but at the same time, we've seen what the defense has done. We've seen the Cowboys score even 40 points, which is crazy because that doesn't happen very often. So again, your defense, that's where it all comes down to right now. It just needs to play better.
What's your limit? Like 4th and 5, 4th and 6, 8?
Okay.
Depends on part of the field you're on, right? I mean, I think if you're on your own end of the field, 4th and 3, maybe 4th and 4.
I feel like
as much as I'm willing to do, because you're basically conceding, in my opinion, you're basically conceding points if you're on your end of the field and you don't convert.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm a little bit like, you got to factor that part in too, right?
I think every time I'm near midfield, I'm going for it.
Okay.
Just because I'm in a situation where if I can get it, I know I'm going to get 3 points out of my guy, and I might get 7. You know,
what if you're 4th and long at midfield?
I think I've got to go.
You still going?
Because this is my problem. If you are on your 30, and the other team get a short field,
it doesn't
that's
matter.
just like them getting the ball on the 20.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. If anything,
That's
you
so
kill.
disheartening.
I'm sorry, but
no,
you
I hear
kill,
what you're saying,
but you
but
kill
this-
more time
this-
if they're on
yeah.
the 20.
Yeah.
But if anything, maybe I get the ball back quicker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about it like that.
This group, I mean, I don't think we've had – Dallas hasn't turned the ball over a bunch on offense, I don't believe. So you haven't had those sudden changes. You know, like when you all of a sudden the ball's on your 28-yard line and you got to hold. You know, we haven't had that this year. It's as much. I mean, I think it's unfortunate, but I'm to the point now with who you have. Listen, I'm not interested in seeing the 3rd and 1 flip if we don't block somebody. If we don't block, I'm not interested in a cute play. I mean, run it if you have to. Come with your best pass play. Voch and I get talking about this morning earlier was that if you're Brian Schottenheimer and it's 3rd and 5 and you run it with the intent, run it to try and get 2-3 yards and then now make that decision. Just try and put yourself in a situation where it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2, where teams are like, well, wait a minute, they're going to throw or they're going to run here.
Don't just throw on 4th and 6.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well,
try
and
give yourself more opportunities with
Easier
play
plays.
calls.
Yeah.
Easier plays to call instead of it's 4th and 6, we got to throw the ball. You know, but I think you got the guys with Pickens. I've said this before. If Pickens had 3 more catches on that final drive, you might win that football game.
Jack Burton in the chat saying this is a convo that casuals have, and I saw somebody else say, "Oh, that's Madden." Listen, bros, in the chat, you are dealing with a defense that have given up plenty yards to Caleb Williams, plenty yards and touchdowns to Bryce Young.
Wilson.
This is unprecedented. Like, yeah, it's very Madden like any other. If your defense is ranked like 17th or something, yeah, it's very Madden like. Kick the ball and let your defense play. You are talking about a defense that's and we in the building, they over there listening to it. This is as worse as I've seen a defense.
The best example of it was last week. You punted the ball with 6 minutes to go in a game, and you didn't get it back.
Carolina punted like what, twice or something?
That's what I'm saying. And you be honest with you,
Casual?
Dallas is going to already punt one time a game to start the game because they're 32nd in the league on first drive.
That's just what they do. Yeah.
I mean, Dallas is going to, but after that, everything's cool. But that first drive, you look like trash. You know, you're going to punt. So there goes one possession, of not getting points. Hopefully they figure that out. But yeah, they're ranked last in the National Football League on first drives of games. So you might have to think of things differently around here.
Russell Wilson throw for 400 yards. Y'all talking about it's Madden? Yeah, it's Madden. What you mean?
Well, I think
it's maddening that you have to watch it.
Right.
You have to watch it.
I mean, the tough part is that right now they can't rely on the defense really at any point in the game.
No.
Every once in a while they'll get a stop, but it's nothing you can really hang your hat on, and that's the part that makes it tough for the play caller and for the head coach because he has to manage the game with the expectation that I really can't rely on my defense. I know he'll say different things publicly, but there's no evidence that you can rely on the defense at any point in the game, and you have to call the game in that way.
And insult to injury, chat looking at you, Jaden Daniels, nice.
Yes.
We keep talking about these other quarterbacks. We go into these games. Hey, we could take advantage of Bryce Young not being good. Russell Wilson ain't all that great, y'all. Man, Jaden Daniels, nice.
Is this the best quarterback they faced all year?
It's him and Jordan Love, but yeah, sure.
I think he's better.
He's better than Jordan Love. So yeah, Jaden Daniels, yeah, he nice. So please,
because he can carve you up with his legs and he can throw.
And he can throw.
Like you're gonna have a little bit of what you saw from Jalen in week 1 running the ball. You could see some of that this weekend, and he can also use his arm. So that's going to be a challenge.
Jalen Hurts ain't good, so just imagine.
You love taking shots at Jalen.
He cool. He cool dude.
All right, we appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll wrap this thing up, tell you what we think is going to happen on Sunday. Cowboys versus Commanders. Till then, for Voch Lombardi, Bryan, Broaddus, and Ambar Garcia, I am Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break Live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!